Welcome to my law office. How can I help you?
I would like to grant some stock options for employees at my startup. We are developing a cloud-based software as a service application for supporting solar panel production. It is in the cloud, and it is green, so it is bound to be successful. I just sold preferred stock at $5, so the options must be priced at 50 cents.
Why would you grant the options at 50 cents if you just sold preferred stock for $5?
When I did my last startup, I went to a seminar you did, and you said that options were usually priced at 1/10 of the last round of preferred. So the options must be priced at 50 cents.
Your last startup was parakeetfood.com in 1999. Unless you have a time machine that will take us back to 1999, that rule of thumb does not work anymore. You need to comply with 409A.
That is fine. Do I download a 409A from startupcompanylawyer.com? That is where I get most of my legal information.
409A is not a thing, it is a section of the tax code. It results in very severe penalties if you do not price stock options with an exercise price equal to the fair market value of the stock on the date of grant.
Oh, that is fine. I will ignore it for at least 12 months then. Based on my business plan, I will not be profitable until 14 months from now. I will worry about the tax rules then.
You can't do that.
Why not? I ignore a lot of rules now. I am a startup. I don't have to follow all of the rules.
The taxes apply to the employees who get the stock options. If you do not price the stock options right, the employees will have to pay close to 100% tax on their stock options. The tax will apply even if they have not exercised their stock options.
Oh. I guess I had better comply with 409A. How do I do that? Do I have to grant the stock options at 1/8 of the last round of preferred, or at 1/5 of the last round of preferred? Just tell me what the magic number for the rule of thumb is now.
There is no magic number now. The IRS has a set of rules that say that if you are audited, you have to prove that your options were priced at no less than fair market value, unless you do one of three things. If you do one of those three things, then the IRS will have to prove that your option prices are grossly unreasonable.
According to my business plan, we will have a public offering in 18 to 24 months. The stock price will be so high then, I think it would be hard for me to prove that my options price was no less than fair market value. I guess I will do one of the three things the IRS says.
That is a good idea.
Oh, so that I know, what does grossly unreasonable mean?
That is a good question. The IRS has not told us. It is probably a very high burden for the IRS though.
Okay then, what are my three choices for pricing my stock options?
First, if you have a formula that you always use for determining the price of your stock for all purposes, you can use that.
I am a startup company. The only formula I always use is number of directors multiplied by 2 is the number of donuts to buy for a board meeting. Do any startup companies use the formula approach?
If there are more than 2 in the country who use this approach, I do not know about it. The next approach is to hire an outside valuation firm to prepare an independent valuation of your common stock. Because you have only sold one round of preferred stock, this will probably cost you between $4,000 and $8,000.
Wow, that seems like a lot of money. For $4,000 to $8,000, I could hire a temporary coder to help me meet our next shipping deadline. Is there another alternative?
There is. If you have someone at the company who has substantial financial experience, they could prepare a good faith written report that establishes the value of the stock. This won't work, however, if you reasonably expect to be sold or go public soon.
Oh, this seems like the easiest thing to do. The venture capitalists who sit on our board of directors are all financial experts. I will just have one of them prepare the report.
Hold on for a second. Most board members will not prepare a report like that because it increases their liability and could be different from the values that they report to their limited partners.
That was not very helpful. Can you just tell me what most of your clients are doing? I will take that information and also look at startupcompanylawyer.com and askthevc.com, and whichever has more votes, I will do that.
Most of my clients who have sold preferred stock to institutional investors hire a valuation firm to prepare an independent valuation. They prefer to have an independent valuation so that when they raise more money or are sold, they do not have to argue with the other side's lawyers about option pricing and can instead argue about business issues that they think are more important.
I hate arguing with lawyers and would like to minimize the amount of time I spend with them. I will just hire a valuation firm. How often do I have to get a new valuation report?
The valuation report is good for 12 months, unless something has changed in your business that would change value. For example, if you are approached by someone who wants to buy the company or you are going to raise more money from investors, we should talk again.
This was helpful. Thank you. Was this tax advice that you gave me?
Good question. Because of Circular 230 put out by the IRS, I need to tell you that any United States federal tax advice contained in this presentation is not intended or written to be used and cannot be used for the purpose of avoiding penalties under the Internal Revenue Code or for the purpose of promoting, marketing, or recommending to another party any transaction or matter that is contained in this presentation.